Today we're making buffalo wings, but not just wings. They're cauliflower wings. Feel free to do any sort of sauce that you want. I'm using buffalo, but you can use like barbecue or even a dry rub. Try that. These are a great appetizer. I wouldn't suggest them as a meal because it's just a lot of cauliflower. Try to mix in some other stuff with it, but it's even just a good snack. I had done one recipe before, but I didn't save it or I just couldn't find it, so I found a different one. So it's kind of like a mishmash of the two because I liked the old method, so I did what I could remember of that one and like combined it with this. Let's go.
This is a really brief overview of what you'll need. Mainly just the cauliflower, the flour, and some seasonings. I used 2 heads of cauliflower, and trust me, that makes a lot. You'll want to wash it in the sink and make sure to remove the vegetation, and then you'll move on to actually cutting them. But you really don't want to cut them into too small of pieces because you're actually going to end up breaking them up. So just make sure you have some, fairly big chunks. And now is probably a good time to preheat the oven to 450 degrees depending on how much cauliflower you have and how long it's going to take you. I ended up with 2 giant bowls of cauliflower, and then it was time to make the coating. So honestly, these are very rough estimates of what you need because it honestly doesn't really matter. So 1 cup of flour, a cup of water, you're really just adding seasoning to taste, and then you'll want to stir everything up, and that's honestly as simple as it is. The easiest way to coat them is to just dump the cauliflower into the bowl and stir them up again. It should be pretty gloopy, if that's the best way to describe it. And then you can place those coated cauliflower pieces into a pan or on a baking sheet. You don't have to space them out too much. It's okay if they bake together a little bit because you're just going to break them up as you toss them in whatever sauce you're going to use. And like I said before, this really does make a lot of cauliflower wings. But you can always reheat them later. I would recommend doing that in a pan on the stove. But anyways, back to the recipe, you can add your sauce now. I got the buffalo sauce from, it was Buffalo Wild Wings in the grocery store, and then I added coconut oil, and then they're ready to enjoy. The smaller ones actually seem a little bit more like wings, but regardless, they are so good and I 10 out of 10 recommend trying.